Hey y'all, Infinite Enzo here, and today I've got Wolfman Walsh here with me, and we're going to tell you guys about some of our favorite knives that came out this year, 2021. It's a pretty good year, all things told. It was a little different. Definitely saw the Chinese companies really stepping it up. In particular, Kizer really brought it this year.
Swinging for the fence.
Absolutely. All right, y'all, I'm going to start us off here, and what we're going to start with is the budget tier. Now, we have 4 tiers today. We have budget, which is anything from $0 to $50. If you get a knife for $0, please tell me how you did that, because I'm always down for a $0 knife.
That's called a gift. Someone gives you a gift. Yeah.
Sounds good. We also have the mid tier, anything from $50 to $150. High tier, $150 and above, and finally an X Factor, which is just oozes cool. Doesn't matter what the price is. It's just a funky, cool knife. So, Walsh, are you cool with me just diving right in here?
Let's do it.
All right, I'm going to start off with mine, guys. I have, first and foremost, in our budget category, the Rough Ryder Reserve Easy Open Razor. This is a traditional style knife, and they did a really excellent job with it. It comes in at $39.99 from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and what you're getting here is blue denim micarta handle covers, D2 steel blade, in a really cool easy open razor pattern here with the notch up here for opening. I'll explain that in just a little bit. It's got a half stop, and the action is a little bit sandy, but with a little bit of oil, it comes right out. Really nice knife for the money. I think Rough Ryder Reserve, which is Rough Ryder's kind of upper line, it's funny because it is an upper line, but they're still really affordable. For 39 bucks, I think this thing is just a slam dunk. I mean, it's really pretty. It really kind of scratches that traditional itch that companies like GEC are making it to where it's so hard to acquire their knives. Well, Rough Ryder Reserve is here and you can get them. Now, the caveat there is that these are made in China. And if you don't want to spend your dollars in China, I completely understand. I definitely try to buy American as much as I can. However, if I see a high quality knife that's coming out of China, I'm not going to have a problem with that. I think most people are willing to accept high quality knives coming out of China, and this is one of them. It's really well made. As you can see here, there's no gaps in the back spacer, which, I mean, look at case. Like, you spend more money for a case, and it's going to have a lot of fit and finish problems. So you kind of see my meaning here. But let me know your opinion. I'd love to hear it. However, if you're okay with buying knives from China, I definitely recommend checking out Rough Ryder Reserve. They have a whole bunch of knives right now. I think they have like 8 or 9 out in the line now. Mm-hmm. They're all really well done, really excellent fit and finish, really cool designs. So the way that easy open notch works, before I forget to tell y'all, you can actually open this knife one-handed. The way you do it, take it out of your pocket, and you take this hook here and you catch it on the seam of your pants or maybe on the lip of your pocket, and you pop it open like that. And then once you have it in the half stop position, just catch it again, pop it again, and usually it goes a little bit better than that. There we go. And you've got your knife all the way open with one hand. So kind of a cool little feature. And
similar but not similar to the Wave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a similar concept for sure. So as you can see, it's not a common feature, but this style does date back a good ways. It's a very old style, believe it or not. So anyway, 39 bucks, the Rough Ryder Reserve Easy Open Razor. Now, up next in my budget tier, as y'all can see here, I kind of have a little icon down here. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately. So my sister needed a new knife. All she had was a K-bar dozer folder, a Bob Dozier folder. Really great knife, but it is kind of aging. So I actually gave her my Artisan Arroyo. So let me tell you guys about how great the Artisan Arroyo is. This thing was a slam dunk. I'm going to roll some footage in of her using it and just kind of showing it off. But what you're getting with the Arroyo is a really nice handle design paired with a really nice blade design. The handle kind of slopes backward, so it's kind of like a pistol grip, whereas the blade slopes upward, and it's kind of a Persian style blade where you have that trailing point that actually sits higher than the belly and the body of the blade. Really cool design. The blade steel is AR RPM 9, which is Artisan's in-house powder steel. Kind of similar to, as I understand it, I haven't done my own testing, but it's kind of similar to D2 in terms of edge resistance, but it's easier to sharpen and it's more stainless, substantially more stainless than D2. The handle comes in a variety of options. There's a affordable version in G10 that I believe you can get for 45 bucks, which is insane to me. There's also a micarta version for a little bit more, and the micarta on it looks fantastic. I've not checked that one out yet, but now that my sister has my acrylic one, I'm probably going to be getting a micarta one before too long. So that said, the acrylic versions were a limited run. Unfortunately, I don't think you can get those anymore, but they were in a variety of different colors. There was a red one and a blue one, and this one in particular I think was oil slick acrylic. But it doesn't, I will be honest with you, the acrylic feels more like plastic. It doesn't feel quite as good in hand as G10 or micarta, but it does look really cool. So, point being, Artisan really punched above their pay grade here. For 45 bucks, you're just getting an excellent steel, an excellent blade shape, excellent handle, just an excellent all-around design. So between these two knives, for me, the Artisan Arroyo has to be the winner for the budget category. What do you think, Walsh?
Well, I mean, you enunciated that wonderfully. But again, I've said it in a previous video, I didn't know what that knife was when I first saw it. I had no idea that it was an Artisan. I thought it was a much more expensive knife.
Yeah, and then you thought it was an Olamic.
I thought it was an Olamic. Just from, calm down, people. Just from a distance, I was like, did he buy an Olamic? But when I looked at it and I opened it and I saw the Artisan, the emblem, I was blown away that this was an Artisan, and for what price it was. It looks really nice.
Yeah. Agreed, man. I think it's the Rough Rider's great. I do think the Artisan really deserves the win, though. Pocket clip, it's made for everyday carry, whereas the Rough Rider is definitely more of a traditional.
Yes.
All right, so moving right along into the next category, which is the mid-tier. Now, this blade, when I bought it, was about 70 bucks. This is the Kizer Mini Latt Vind. Right now, it's damn near in the budget tier. You can get these for like 55 bucks right now. And I think that might be a special sale. I don't know how long that will last. But even at 70 bucks, it's a really great knife. This has become my go-to work knife for when I'm doing on-site work where I have to carry something that's a little bit quieter. It's not offensive looking in any way. It's just a really pretty design. And hey, the coolest part of it, I'm sure y'all might have already noticed, but that color scheme, what do you think about that? I don't know. Who's that remind you of?
A certain Mandalorian, maybe by the name of Boba. Boba something. I think he's got a TV show out, maybe.
I think he's a pretty famous dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is not official. So Disney, you don't you're suing anybody. But yeah. So this is the unofficial bounty hunter knife. It also comes in another colorway that is black and white. That looks really good. Personally, Walsh kind of guided me toward the red, yellow, and green version. So it's a front flipper. Front flips exceptionally well, and it is also a standard flipper. Now I know you're looking at that nub back there, and you're like, that doesn't look very comfortable. And at first, it's not. I'll tell you right now. But when you get used to it, I really love. I use the standard flipper more than I use the front flipper on this. I love it. It just, the way it rockets out. It's definitely designed to be a push button. You're not going to be light switching this thing.
Yeah, no, it's not a flipper.
It's
a pusher.
Exactly. So you set your finger on there, pop it out. Really satisfying. If I didn't say already, the blade is N690. Beautiful kind of drop point, spear point kind of thing going on here. Nice rounded crown spine, looks really good. Nice jimping up top. I believe it's a hollow grind, not 100% sure on that, but I think it's a hollow grind, so it slices really well. Liner lock, as we can see here, and the handles, as I mentioned earlier, are G10 and a deep carry pocket clip. So it's really made to be a very effective all-around EDC knife, and it excels at that. It's become, as I said, it's become my go-to knife for working on site. So that is the Kizer Latvind Mini, coming in anywhere from 55 to 70 bucks.
Now, he and I bought a knife at the same time, which also was a Kizer. I got the Kizer Doman. Now, it's not going to be featured here because it was a 2020 model, but we did buy it at the same time.
I will say, though, that was like a 2021 edition of a 2020 model, wasn't it?
It was.
Technically.
We bought it, I think, in March of this year.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, no, it was the second run. I think it was a, I don't remember if it was a BladeHQ exclusive with the handle and the blade coating.
I'll drop a photo in of it right here, guys, just so you can see what we're talking about.
But it was a 2020, but they were both about $70, and they're both
Yeah.
N690, and they're both Kizer, so
they're both really, really impressive.
really flippy.
The Doman is nuts, man. Yeah.
They fire
The
very
action.
well.
Yeah, that was something I should probably bring up actually with this before we close on it, is the action is exceptional. It's not drop shut, but it is swing shut. So it'll just, you give it just a little bit of a swing and that thing will close right up. So yeah, excellent knife. Kizer Latvind Mini. Okay guys, opening up the mid-tier. Ooh man, not gonna lie guys, we're gonna have more to say about this one later. This is the Kizer Critical Mini. Designed by, oh gosh, I'm forgetting the designer. Christensen Knife Works, that's the designer. Oh man, what a design. I freaking love this knife. Blade steel, 3V. Oh. Yeah, so I've been dying to get a 3V folder for the longest time. No company has really done a production 3V knife worth a damn. Benchmade tried, and they had a lot of issues with the 3V bailout, I believe it was. Cool looking knife, but apparently they didn't heat treat it properly. This one, in my experience so far, has held up fantastically. Real steel, I believe, has also used some 3V, and I know the boys at Dutch Bushcraft Knives, I know they got a hold of some of that 3V from China, and they were pretty damn impressed with it. So yeah, really, really awesome blade shape. This really tough looking Warncliffe blade. I love it. The handle is Kizer's Black Micarta. I think this is the same shade of micarta that was on your Doman.
It is, yeah.
Okay. And we have this really cool gray G10 pivot collar here, matching gray G10 backspacer. The deep carry pocket clip is originally high polish. I went ahead and acid washed that because I wanted it to kind of look a little bit more flat like the pivot collar. We have a liner lock here that is perfectly jimped. Easy to get a hold of that liner right there. And as you can see, flipper tab deployment. Excellent action. Again, man, Kizer just slayed this year. And Walsh has got a Kizer to show off as well, so we'll get into that. So yeah, it is a big flipper tab. And you can also get this knife, if you don't want the flipper, you can get this knife with thumb studs as well. Not in this micarta, but in different versions with G10 and also carbon fiber. However, this variant, just everything about it sold to me. I loved it. So this is definitely the winner for me in the mid-tier category, the Kizer Critical Mini. Oh, God, just such a cool knife. I love everything about it. All right, I'm gonna put it down before I keep going on about it. What do you think, man?
I'm going to leave my comments for the end.
Okay. All right.
They're going to line up, so.
I'm looking forward to hearing it. All right. So, as I just said, yeah, the Kizer Mini Critical Mini is what that one's called. Winner of the mid-tier. On to the high tier. As I said earlier, $150 and up. We are opening this. The Demko 80 20.5. So I have a review of this. I'll pop it up in the corner here. Thoughts on this after having it for a while. This is now wearing the Rips Garage Tech micarta scales, and it improves this knife vastly. If you're interested in the 80-20.5, I do recommend it. It's a great knife. But when you get it, it comes with these very thin FRN scales that are so thin. They just feel like, I don't know, it doesn't feel, in all honesty, does not feel great in hand. It just feels too thin. Rip did what I hoped he would do, and he thickened up the scales substantially. These are probably 1.5 times thicker than the stock scales, and it really makes a huge difference. I've been carrying this knife every day since I installed the scales, and it's fantastic. Another upgrade that I put on this was Skiff bearings from Skiff Blade Works. Very famous for his super high-end knives. You know, I think they start at like 700, 800, that number. But he actually sells bearings, and they're cheap as heck. They're like 13 bucks. So it's definitely worth the upgrade, because these stock bearings, you're going from like 8 ball bearings to 19 ball bearings for that upgrade. Yeah, it's a huge upgrade inside of what looked to be a copper cage. Really nicely done. So let's talk about the actual knife, why don't we? Blade steel AUS 10A. I know that steel seems to get some hate, and I think it's just because it has the letters AUS in front of it. AUS 10's great, guys. I don't understand what the hate's about. It's not AUS 8. This is a different steel. It's got a lot of toughness, I've found, and a decent amount of edge resistance, and it's fairly stainless. I've just been really impressed with it. And one thing I'll bring up as well, now that I'm thinking about it, I meant to mention, we'll see here on the 3V here on the Kizer, right there, y'all can see that aggressive patina there. I don't know what I got on it, but it happened really fast. So that's kind of the trade-off here with a steel like 3V or D2. You will see patinas like that. AUS 10, I mean, I've been using this knife to heck and back, and I've had no patina at all. So I would say I'm just pretty impressed with AUS 10. Now here's the thing, the price of entry here we're now in the high tier, which is 150 up. The price of entry for this knife is about 155. We're right on the edge here. I do think 155 is a little high for what you get stock. But here's the thing, I'm arguing that you are paying for the shark lock. This is a new innovative lock design from the renowned Andrew Demko, who, of course, I think he said in an interview once that he was never one to make really beautiful blades in terms of like Damascus steel and things like that. So what he wanted to do was make unique locks, and he absolutely does. He, of course, invented the Triad lock, the Scorpion lock that we see on the 80-15, and now the Shark lock that we see on the 80-20 and the 80-20.5. So yeah, I highly recommend the 80-20.5. Really cool blade shape, unbelievable fidgety action. Like, I can just do this all day long, drive my wife crazy, totally worth it. Yeah, it's just, man, I'm hoping to see this in a lot of people's year-end lists. And I'll be honest with you guys, love Nick Shabazz. I was blown away that he didn't include this in his list. I just couldn't believe it. And his argument was he felt that the materials used did not justify a $150 price tag. Totally respect that argument, because I've heard other people make it too. I would just say, again, I really think you're paying for the innovation here, the lock.
I think you're also paying for supply and demand of when this came out.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was hyped up so much, and there wasn't a ton of the production.
Oh, yeah. So, hell, they sold out in like half a day, I think. I mean, it was like crazy trying to get a hold of one.
So they knew they were going to sell a lot, so I think the price was a little higher for that reason.
I think you're right. And you put the name Demko on something, I mean, it's going to be a bit of a dash. So great option here from Demko. Highly recommended at 155 to 160, the 80-20.5. And oh yeah, while I'm thinking about it, guys, if you do get one, I really recommend you seek out some aftermarket scales. It makes a huge difference. One thing worth talking about is once you've spent the money, these scales, they weren't cheap, man. They were 75 bucks. So you're almost into 80-20 territory. 80-20s, recently they did a run of 20s in D2 with Grivery handles. Those were like 300 bucks. And right now, what is it sitting at? Like 225 with the scales. So, you know, it's something worth thinking about, but good God, the scales have made a huge difference. All right, moving on. I'm gonna stop yammering. Any closing thoughts on that one?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, moving along here. A knife that I never thought I would ever get. Again, this one's a bit cheating because I think it came out in like late November 2020. But you know what? This is our video, so we're gonna do what we want. This is my other high-end 2021 knife. This is the Liong Lanny version 2. Whew, man, this thing is just a stunner. So our blade steel M390 in this stunning compound grind blade. We have a hollow right here in the belly section of the knife, and up here towards the tip, it is a flat, beautiful satin grind that changes directions, of course, with the flat as well as the edges. Looks fantastic. We have let's see if we can show that off. Very cool faceted spine here. The jimping here is what Eugene Kwan, awesome guy. Unfortunately, he got rid of his YouTube channel, I think. Really, he had really great reviews. He called this razorback jimping, the way that the jimping goes backwards towards the hand. Kind of a nice touch. These are produced for Liong by Ryder Knives out of China. Arguably China's best knife maker. And if you handle one of these, you're going to see why. Like, these are just as close to perfection as a production knife can get. They're really fantastic. So we have a flipper, as we can see here. The handles are micarta. Well, it's a bolster lock style. So we have a kind of a bolster up here in the titanium frame, and as you can see here, on top of that titanium frame, the micarta handle covers are laid right on there. Now, not a complaint, just a criticism that I have, constructive criticism. I do wish that the micarta was textured. It is just straight up polished smooth. And Walsh knows, he's going to explain more about that later. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Now this knife, again, this is a knife that I never thought I would have. It is $400. Oh my God! Never thought I would own this knife. It involved me giving my dad $300 and him chipping in $100 as a gift. So that's how I got this knife. So big thanks to my old man who made this possible. Otherwise, I never would have owned this knife because $300 is my limit. I will not pay more than that. And he knew how badly I wanted this thing. So he's a real mensch. Any more to add here? We have a deep carry pocket clip, of course. It's running on bearings. Excellent action. Actually not drop shut. I know a lot of people would think it would be for that price tag, but what matters is that it is, it's buttery smooth. Just silky smooth. I'm talking like, Sabenza smooth. Really awesome. So I'm done vamping here. That is the Liong Lanny version 2. Any thoughts there?
I'm going to give my thoughts on this knife when I get to this knife.
Okay, that makes sense.
That was the inspiration for that.
That makes sense. All right, guys. Lastly, oh man, I am excited to share this one with you guys. This is the X Factor knife of the year. Y'all will remember last year, it was the Kershaw Lucha. Really awesome Balisong knife, just pure funk, man. And Boker, they brought the funk this year. This is the Boker Bad Guy. Oh my God, I love this knife.
You all can't appreciate that sound. like we can appreciate it here. That's a wonderful sound.
Once you've heard it in person, oh my God. And what's crazy to me, so this is a slip joint, guys, and it sounds it sounds like a back lock, man. It just, it sounds like a triad lock, to be honest with you. Just, bam! Oh, I love it. So this is a design from a French knife maker, Franck Civivi. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Let me tell you guys, he sells customs that look exactly like this, and they start at, I think, like $550 to $600. This Boker I got it for $89, and you can get it anywhere from $89 to $110. That's mind-blowing to me for the design. Now, I don't know what steel that Franck is using in his custom models. This is D2. Oh no, D2, so much D2. You know what? It's a great steel, okay? Yeah, there's a lot of it. Yes, there is. But, dude, look at this design. I don't care. I'll totally forgive it for being in D2. Also, I don't know if this is actually hand rubbed, but man, it sure as hell looks like it's hand rubbed. I mean, as you can see, we have a grain pattern going this way, and I mean, that looks like hand rubbed to me. If they're emulating it, they're doing an excellent job, and I don't care either way. If it's like at this price point, I do not care if it's a fake hand rub. It still looks great. So big props there. As you can see, the whole design is highly reminiscent of a Lanny's clip pattern. So to me, like, yeah, what I see here is just a big, mean Lanny's clip, and I love everything about that. Only thing that I'm a little iffy on is the skull shield, but you know what? It goes with it. It goes with it.
Yeah, it goes with it.
Yeah, like it suits the knife. As you can see, that skull shield is inlaid onto a crater finish G10 handle that is wonderfully finished. Oh my God, I love it. We have a faux bolster up here up top, and I appreciate too that has a different pattern. It's just got a standard polished pattern. So it really differentiates between the body of the handle and the bolster. It looks so good. Red liners there, red G10 liners. Oh, man. This is my own lanyard. It does not come with the lanyard. One thing we need to talk about. This is my biggest criticism. No washers. There's no washers in here. So what this is pivoting on, if y'all can see here, there's like these fake washers that are just milled right out of the G10. So it's just pivoting on pure G10. Kind of a weird feeling. I don't care though. I mean, it works. Yeah. I will say, it does not work as well as phosphor bronze washers would have worked. They would have been better, but still, I don't know, man. The cool factor is too cool for me to complain too much about that. I just really love the knife. So yeah, that is the Boker Bad Guy. I call it the Bastard because it reminds me of medieval era bastard swords, which were kind of, again, I'm kind of talking out of the side of my mouth here a little bit. As I understand it, bastard swords were kind of a hybrid between a single-handed sword and a two-handed sword. They were right there in the middle. To me, this is a hybrid between your traditional slip joint, like this guy, and Jesus, your full-size locking knife. I was going to pick one of these up, but this is bigger than all of them. So it's crazy. So anyway, that's the Boker Bad Guy, guys. I don't know if you can get them right now. I don't know what's going on. I haven't seen them available in a while. I'm hoping that Boker does another run. If you're interested, keep an eye out. See if you can track one down. Let me know. Let me know if you even like this design. I'm curious what people think about it. To me, God, it spoke. And half the reason is there was a custom. I'll drop a photo in of it here. A custom on Arizona Knife Works that had this same kind of style for $400. And I had just been oogling it, but I knew I wasn't going to spend that much money. And then like the next day I saw this and I was like, holy freaking cow. So anyway, all right.
It's totally worth the $89.
Oh my God. X Factor win, $89 to $210. The Boker Bad Guy. Okay, guys. Okay, I'm done. On to Walsh here. I'm going to chime in every now and then. But all right, let's go to Walsh.
All right, guys, so now I'm going to dive into mine. I've got 4 knives here on the table. I'm going to stick within the same parameters of budget, mid-tier, and upper tier. We'll start with the budget. This is a Swiss Army knife. This is a BladeHQ exclusive, as you can see here.
Very cool.
And with everything else in my life, you can see we had to go with the Loco Lobo. Now, that's what it's called. Any good Swiss Army knife, what does it have to have? Tell me right now.
I'm going to guess scissors.
Scissors. You can get this in a variety of patterns, or a variety of different layouts, I should say, but I had to have the one with the scissors.
Yeah.
They actually work pretty well. So.
Nobody does scissors as well as Victorinox, I don't think.
No, they don't. So this is great. It's a great Victorinox. It comes with all of your standard Swiss Army knife. It's got the tweezers, the toothpick. It's got screwdrivers. It's got 2 different blades, and of course, it has the scissors.
Does it have a bottle opener?
It does have it has a bottle opener and a can opener.
Nice, very important.
This wasn't the high end one. This was almost the high end one, but so there we go. Now you can see.
No bottle is going to withstand.
No
beer bottle will be stopped.
It's also got your flathead screwdriver.
Nice.
You can see that there, as well as the Phillips head here on the back. So
let me ask you this real quick: multi-tool or Swiss Army knife?
Oh, well, for me, this is a Swiss Army knife.
No, but I mean, like, between the two, what do you enjoy carrying?
Which do I prefer?
Yeah.
The Swiss Army knife.
Okay, nice.
Now, I have a Leatherman Wave, and I just haven't found... I have 2 Leathermans. I have an old school original Leatherman from like 15 years ago that's in my fishing tackle box. That is the only time I ever use it. My new Leatherman Wave is too nice for the fishing tackle box.
Yeah.
So I've carried it maybe twice.
Okay.
I've carried this thing probably 20 times.
That's a good point.
Now, again, there's reasons for that. But $34.
Nice.
That's my budget, and I love it. And I like the blue pattern too. There wasn't any other colors, but when I saw it in blue, I was like, that's not bad. I like that.
Yeah, man. It's got like this kind of winter thing going on.
Yeah.
You know, and the wolf, of course, is a nice touch, man.
Nice touch.
Awesome.
So now that's it for my budgets. I have bought other knives this year, but these are just 2021 knives, of course. So my next one, jumping into the mid-tier, this was $54. This is the Condor Carlitos.
That was kind of right on the line.
Right on the line, yeah. It's a 1075, which is great steel. We did a video recently. Y'all haven't seen it yet.
It'll be coming. Later. I'm sorry, guys.
We've been busy.
I put that teaser up that I thought it didn't really get a lot of views, so I don't think anybody cares. But it's going to be a cool video when it comes out, guys.
So I bought this. I wanted something a little bit smaller or lighter weight than the Essie Azula.
Yeah.
And I found this. It is thinner. It is lighter, and it's actually become kind of my go-to neck knife.
It doesn't print nearly as much as the Azula does.
Not at all, and it's a lot lighter, and I love it. Now, there was a fun story that came with this knife that I didn't know. This is called the Carlitos. This was actually named after a person that worked at Condor that passed away.
Oh wow!
They named this knife after him. He was a young guy, so I thought that was a cool story.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You can look that up on Condor's website.
Wow.
But no, this is kind of the go-to neck knife carry. I have this on me pretty much every day. This is part of my today's carry. We'll get a pocket check on both of us here at the end of the video. But this was one of them, and then kind of the counterpart that I carry with it. But yeah, the Condor Carlitos, $54. It came with the paracord handle already, so I didn't have to do that.
I thought you had to do that.
No, I didn't do that. And
cool.
It's behind me here. It also comes with a Kydex sheath.
Nice.
With the same paracord. So, no,
awesome.
I've really been digging this knife. So.
I didn't know it came pre-wrapped. There's a nice wrap on it.
So up next in the mid-tier, oh boy, this is the knife. This is, if I can get it open, the Kizer Quatch. N690, the micarta scales, and the copper backspacer. This is
That's a good sound.
It's a great sound. It's a great feel. You can choke up a little bit if you need to. As in a previous video that I did with my collection, the knife that I wanted was the Gerber Flat Iron 3 in the denim micarta, and it failed. It was an F. I'll
link that video above if you guys want to check it out.
It's awful. Sorry, not sorry. This is everything that knife was supposed to be and more. And it also costs more, but you're getting so much more. And as Enzo said earlier, Kizer and China, whether you like it or not, they came out swinging.
They did, man.
And especially Kizer this year. You can get a Kizer knife in so many different blade designs, blade steels, blade shapes.
Yeah. Do you mind if I interject?
Go ahead.
All right, man. So Kizer this year, we've seen in 690, we have seen 3V, which is I'm still reeling over that. We're about to see freaking 10V.
10V.
In the new line of sheepdogs. Like, what the heck, man?
Pre-order
awesome.
now.
Yeah,
they're already gone.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna get one of those new sheepdogs. Anyway, please carry on.
So, we're not sponsored by Kizer. No. But this knife is everything that I wanted it to be, and this is not only, sorry, I get nervous with this knife because I just get so excited with this knife. This is also my X Factor knife for the year because this is everything that I wanted. I'm a cleaver man first and foremost. This is my only cleaver here. It's the only one I bought this year. But I love a good cleaver. This thing just looks mean.
God, dude, yeah.
I said it looked kind of like a rhino. He said it looked like a bull, getting ready to charge to a china shop. Either way, it's going to tear some stuff up.
You know something I just noticed that I really appreciate?
What's that?
This handle shape. If you can kind of hold it up a little, so the way that it curves and the way that the flipper comes out, it really locks your hand in there, man. Like, nobody's getting that thing out of your hand.
Yeah, no, it's definitely got this
and then
kind of
the backspacer pattern. Is that copper?
It is copper.
Oh, dude.
So it is
so
patinaing,
cool.
and it will continue to patina over time. But no, this thing fits really well in the hand. If I had a complaint, which I don't, the jimping doesn't go far enough.
Okay.
If it comes to here,
I
wish it went a little further.
Yeah.
I'm not really going to complain about that, though. That's just an aesthetic thing for me.
Yeah.
But I can't really complain. And if you do it right, it does. I didn't hold that right for the camera. It does just kind of drop close. It's wonderful. But yeah, that's the Kizer Quatch.
Oh man, love it.
N690. So still, this is kind of the high end of my mid tier. This is the Civivi Appalachian Drifter 2. This purchase was inspired by this knife. I don't have $400 to spend on a knife, but I saw this knife, this Liong Mall, and I was like, I love the way this looks. It's a little bit bigger of a gentleman's kind of a carry.
It's kind of on the line there. I don't know if it's a thick blade.
It's a thick boy. It really is. But I really enjoyed the bolster look, the two-tone look, and just everything about this knife except for the price. And so did a little, I hate hearing the word research now. That word just irritates me with the world we live in right now. I did a little looking online at some other blades and some other knives, and I came up with this. And
love it, man.
I have to say, I did a great job
you
looking.
Freaking did, dude.
It is a front flipper, or a top roller, whatever you want to call it. S35 VN steel on that blade. It is a polished micarta, or actually what they were calling a snake-skinned polished micarta, and it's got a carbon fiber bolster area there. Deep carry pocket clip. It's smooth.
And buttery smooth.
Buttery smooth. I'm have trouble flipping it sideways like I am, but there's nothing to love about it. It's very slicey. It's thin, but it's not as thin as some other knives out there. But man, it gets the job done.
Yeah. God, that's a beautiful blade shape too. And again, guys, I bring everything back to the freaking Lanny's clip. But this knife to me, it has that look, that Lanny look that I think looks, it's just such an attractive design. Just with the clip point here and the handle that swoops back. Ah, man, beautiful knife.
Now I'm going to do this, and I'm going to mess it up, and y'all can make fun of me. If you have fingernails, it does have this area for a potential nail nick.
Right.
And I don't have fingernails.
Right. I got to tell you,
there we go.
I was shooting some B-roll with this one earlier, guys, and I was trying to do that too. And it will work. Like once you have to get used to it.
So I work in a place that requires me to wear medical gloves, and fingernails and medical gloves don't go hand in hand because I don't want you puncturing a glove. So I keep my nails pretty low. So it's really, there we go.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
Add a little risk to it, but it is possible to do that nail nick flip, and it feels pretty good once you get the hang of it. So, there we go.
There you go.
There we go.
Locked and loaded now.
So that is the Civivi Appalachian Drifter 2.
Oh man.
This comes in. I'm going to go back and talk about that real quick. This comes in. When I purchased it, it was $94 plus tax. Right now, it's a little bit more.
Okay.
Depending on where you go, they're going about 110 plus tax. Now, that's nothing. Let me jump back over here real quick.
I know where you're going with this.
This, when it first came out, Kizer did a limited run on the first one. There's this one, and there's also a version.
Yeah, you went on a quest to get this freaking knife, man.
That is a great word. There's two different versions of this knife. There's this version, and then there's one with a satin finish blade, a red micarta handle, and a brass inlay here. Both of these went for $74.99 plus tax when you were first purchasing them on that first run. I got this at the end of that first run. These dropped on like a Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. everywhere nationwide, and they were sold out at 10:04. Enzo here was like, hey, have you tried this one place in Chattanooga? Oh, this is in Chattanooga.
You sure it was in Chattanooga?
Was it Chattanooga? No.
I thought it was White Mountain.
It was White Mountain. You're right.
Okay. They're up. I don't know. They're up north, I think.
Never mind. I got a different blade from Chattanooga. White River knives. I got this one. It said
White Mountain.
White Mountain knives. It said 2 left in stock. I didn't think about it. I just like
hit the button.
Hit the button. Got it. These are going for $120 or more now.
Oh my god.
Depending on where you find them. So, $50 increase versus $15 increase. I have seen this on nobody's.
Nobody.
I don't understand.
I don't get it either, man.
What's with the cleaver haters? I don't understand. This is a excellent knife. Well, you can't, puncture anything. Yes, you can. That right there will puncture anything that you need it to.
It really will, yeah.
So,
I've learned that too, working with the rough Ryder here, because it has the same. I don't know if I'd quite call it a cleaver, but it has the same sort of point to it. Yeah. And so you can definitely puncture things with this blade shape, guys. Like, don't be a hater. Deterred. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I'll go ahead and not really finish this up, but go with that is my, out of all of the tiers, both of my tiers, that is my knife of the year there.
Oh, nice. Okay. You know what? I would have said originally, I would have said the Appalachian Drifter, but when you laid all the knives out, I'm just looking at that Quatch. I was like, God, that thing's so cool, man, and it has so much personality. The design is epic. And here's another thing I'd like to bring up real quick, guys, with Kizer. They've really been going after excellent designers lately. Like, that's what really brings the flavor and the personality into a pocket knife collection, is when you have awesome designers. And it seems like Kizer's been reaching out to some really excellent designers who have a sense of style,
Yeah.
And a sense
well, all of these are different.
Yeah, exactly.
You take the Kizer logo off there, you would not be able to say,
absolutely,
these are all Kizer. You'd be like, these are 3 different companies.
These are 3 different companies. Absolutely. Yeah. So hats off to Kizer this year. I mean, they were absolutely the knife maker of the year, I think. They just, like we've said throughout this whole video, they really came in swinging this year and just really impressed with their designs. So that brings me to my knife of the year. I'm going to pick out 3, and we're going to talk about each of them. Yes, there is one that is a winner. Okay, these 3. I know it's crazy I'm not bringing this one up, right? It's crazy. This is a Grail knife, and I love it. But the thing is, this was a knife that was like an aspirational thing. This is not. It's not reasonable to price.
No,
it's not. It's
I
not
have one
reasonable.
of those too, and yeah.
Okay, so The Boker Bad Guy. Man, love it. I love this knife. I love its personality. It's not the easiest knife to carry around. It's a big chunky boy, no pocket clip. You can open it one-handed, sort of.
Slowly.
Yeah, you're not flicking this thing open. Would you mind closing that for me? I got my hands full. So I love it if you want a slip joint. That's you know what? That's the slip joint of the year. That
Okay,
Boker, yeah,
I'll give you that.
That one. It's not the knife of the year though. Okay, the 80 20.5. A stunner. Really fantastic that the Demko's brought us a knife with the shark lock at an attainable price. It's not $400, it's $150. You're getting, however, a very, and again, this is not a stock handle. The stock handle, thin FRN, man, like crazy thin, like barely bigger than these steel liners here, like right like that, man. Like anyway, once you get some scales on this thing, it's perfect, but then you've spent quite a bit more money. So as much as I love the 80 20.5, and even though I still highly recommend it, it's not the knife of the year. Of course, that leaves us with the Kizer Critical Mini, Critical, whatever they're called. Critical Mini, thank you. That leaves us with the Kizer Critical Mini. I just love this. I don't know, man. The ergos are really good. Now, granted, I have small size hands. Larger hands, you may be hanging, your last finger may be hanging off a little bit. I'm not sure, but God, man, for me, this thing just fits great. The handle's nice size. It's not going anywhere in your hand. The blade shape is just cool. It's just so cool. Really fantastic for draw cuts, things like that. And man, 3V, they did it. Excellent action. Yeah, I've already said all this. I'm just repeating myself now. So, knife of the year for me. Let's put our, actually, you know what? I'm gonna highlight our two knives of the year here. Move these guys back. There we go. The Quatch. You know what? Here, hang on a minute. I'll let you do that.
No, do that. Flick your Bic there.
There you go. The Quatch and the Critical Mini. Kizer, way to go, y'all. Really came with it this year. And anyways, yeah. So that's our knives of the year, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and really appreciate y'all watching this year. Wolfman's been around a hell of a lot more, which has been freaking great. I've really enjoyed that, and hopefully he's going to basically be in nearly every video going forward. I'm sure I'll still put some random ones out, but like, yeah, he's going to be in all the big ones. So
we'll be here.
So we got to do a pocket check real quick.
We'll do a pocket check.
What you got?
Well, I was carrying two of them today. One of them is already there on the floor, the Condor Carlitos.
Right.
And then kind of the little brother, or the same size brother, the Kershaw Shuffle 2.
Oh, nice.
I carry these two together.
Oh, dude, yeah. They have a bond.
They have a bond. The blade coating, the coloring, the size. I kind of always carry them at the same time. So this was my carry today. What do you got?
Okay, so I did carry the 80 20.5 today. I've been carrying this like every day ever since I got the new scales. It really makes such a huge difference. However, I've also been back pocket carrying on my left hand.
Oh man.
Ooh, the Microtech Spartan. Yo! Gotta love it, man. So that is CTS 204P in that stunning dagger blade. Molan Labe. Come and take it. Really badass design. A bronzed blade finish. A bronze pocket clip. So got this from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and God, it's such a cool knife, man. You guys, if you get a chance to check out an OTF, you need to. Anyways, anything else we'd like to add? I think we pretty much covered everything.
No. Thanks for watching this year. We got some good videos coming out at the beginning of the year, or toward the beginning of the year. So.
And guys, sorry to my subscribers that have been around a minute. Sorry I haven't been putting videos out as much lately. It's been, you guys know, it's the freaking holidays. Yeah. So, all right, y'all be well. We'll see you guys soon, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that stuff, and take care of yourselves. All right, see you guys later.